In this video, I'm going to show you how to treat IBS-D or Irritable Bowel Syndrome with diarrhea. Now, I've helped many people get better from all sorts of conditions, even things like Crohn's and colitis, and we can only do this by addressing the root cause. Like literally by the end of this video, maybe you're going 10, 20 times a day, you can cut that in half. Maybe you're reacting to your favorite foods. By the end of the video, these food intolerances could be gone. Now, I know that's a bold statement, but we need to realize that this whole apparatus right here, what is it controlled by? I know in the holistic community, it's like, oh, this is the second brain. Maybe if you have your head inserted in this opening right here, that could be a valid argument. But what controls your whole gut is your brain. Now, it's subconsciously controlled by your brain, not consciously. Consciously, we can squeeze our rectum to hold it until we make it to the bathroom. But other than that, we don't have much conscious control of what's going on here. So a brilliant German doctor made these discoveries. His name was Dr. Hammer, and he could look at your brain CT scan and know exactly what disease somebody had, not just gut diseases. And now what happens with people with IBS is the doctors, they will do their test and they can't find inflammation anywhere. They can't find any problems. So they would do an endoscopy and they would look in your stomach and they would look for inflammation or ulcers. If they see ulcers, they go, hey, you got stomach ulcers. If they see inflammation, they say, hey, you got gastritis. That endoscopy can only go into the stomach and maybe a little bit further. So the next thing they'll probably do is a colonoscopy where they stick a camera up your butt and they try to see what's going on. And if they find inflammation there, they say, hey, you got colitis. And sometimes they can get the camera up into here, and that's when they would diagnose Crohn's disease, which is a term that means inflammation anywhere from mouth to butthole, but it's usually used to describe inflammation in the small intestine, just inflammation all over. But when they do these tests and they can't find anything wrong, but you're still having symptoms, they go, oh, I don't know. We just call it IBS. Now we need to realize that the gut it's wrapped in muscles. The way that, poop gets from this point to the exit is muscles are squeezing it along until it gets ejected. Now, why, think about this from a survival perspective. Think about this from being like an animal in the wild. You just spent 1,000, 2,000 calories chasing down a rabbit and eating it. And now your body's going to eject those vital nutrients in your gut out, and you're not going to get that, that equation can't take place for much long. Otherwise, we're going to starve to death. So what we need to do is, this is like the first step to getting better, is we need to identify when did the symptoms start. So what is something I want to, for diarrhea, what is the biological purpose of diarrhea? What is crap I want to get rid of, but I can't? I'm trying to get rid of crap as fast as possible. How often do you refer to something as crap? Oh, that person's such a piece of crap. Oh, this stupid crap, I don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm not saying every time you say that you're going to get diarrhea, but at one point in time you suffered a traumatic event, and most of the time we're not consciously aware of this traumatic event. It's a subconscious thing. It hits us so hard, the brain goes, for a second it goes, okay, ooh, I don't think his conscious mind can handle this. He's already pretty stressed out. This might, put him in the loony bin. So let's throw it to the subconscious. And okay, he's referring to it as crap he wants to get rid of, but he can't. All right, so let's put it on the colon intestinal muscles because that's where we normally hold crap. We need to get rid of it, but he can't. Okay, then we'll just put the colon muscles in and out of overdrive. And anytime he sees a subconscious reminder of this crap, we're just going to put his gut into overdrive. And, just in case, because better to be safe than sorry, right? Okay, that's what's happening. So that is literally, it was common knowledge before Big Pharma took over that gut disease was caused by a traumatic event. So this, guys, I'm telling you, this is the therapy. This is what you need to do to get better. I have a 13-day protocol that takes you through this in more detail, where day by day we do these steps and we help uproot these subconscious demons putting our organs in and out of overdrive that are trying to help us survive. But you need, like, how is this constant diarrhea trying to help me survive, Mike? That doesn't make any sense. Life has existed on Earth for roughly 4 billion years, we're estimating. 3 billion of those years, we were just little microscopic cells where life was all about getting important things to our survival and then expelling crap. And then it's only been the past million years where there's been life on land and life on, multicellular life forms. And, don't quote me on this, but, out of all the whole spectrum of time, like primates and apes have only been around for about maybe 1 million or so years. And especially with these past 200 years where life has evolved so quickly, like our biology has not caught up to it yet. So this is what I take people, your brain can only change so fast, your brain can only cough up trauma so fast. So this is like a 13-day protocol that I have these exercises that takes your brain to kind of loosen it up so it will cough up these traumatic events. So this is like a little preview of what this is. If I were to go on a coaching call with you, this is what I would do. I go, hey, how you doing? What's your problem? All right, you got IBS-D? Okay, when did the IBS-D start? Okay, oh, well, when did you get diagnosed? Okay, you got diagnosed 2021. So you got diagnosed in 2021. Alrighty. Was it in the winter? Was it in the spring or the summer? Were you in school? What was going on? Well, when you were diagnosed, were you working? Were you in school? I was in high school. What year? Last year of high school? First year of high school? Last year of high school. Okay. So, last year of high school. When did you first when did you first start going 10 times a day? Oh, I don't know. Well, just try to remember. When did you go on a trip and, it just was completely destroyed because, you were trying to go to the bathroom. You had to go to the bathroom 10 times a day and, you had an 8-hour car drive. When do you remember this really being a problem? And he says, oh yeah, high school year, the last year of high school, there was a trip, and, in the middle of this trip, I went to the bathroom in my pants in a big school bus, and it was extremely embarrassing. And I remember it was during the winter. It started. Okay, so what was stressing you out that time? What was stressing you out? And then I go, was it a girlfriend, boyfriend, parents, teacher, brother, sister, family? Did you have a job? Did you get kicked out of your World of Warcraft guild? What was stressing you out when your symptoms started? And then they go, oh, I had this teacher that, or, oh, I was fighting with my friends. I was in a really bad fight. Okay, great. Friends, fight with friends. And now here a lot of people stop. They go, oh yeah, I was fighting with my friends all the time, and that's kind of when I realized my symptoms started. They were being pieces of crap. But I was like stuck on a school project with them that I really needed to do well on. See, like in normal circumstances, they're crap, they're pieces of crap that I can get rid of and distance myself from, but I'm locked in a project with them that's now really going to, like, you have diarrhea. What is crap you want to get rid of, but you can't? What is crap? Like, that is the subconscious way, you just want to get rid of it. It's something you just want to get rid of, but you can't. What is that thing? But I want you to use the time that your symptoms started as an anchor. And now you might be asking yourself, Mike, why don't you just tell me exactly what to do to get better? I am showing you exactly what to do to get better. If I go on a one-on-one coaching call with somebody, this is exactly what I do with them. Now, this process becomes a lot easier and a lot faster when you know the basic information of German new medicine and how a traumatized mind works. So that's why I spend so much time, giving you all this context. So, fight with friends. That's the conflict. We need to know the shocking situation. What was the one out of, you fought with your friends for 3 months on this project. When did this project go to shit? Was there a milestone and then your friend showed up drunk? Or your friend showed up and didn't do their part? And then they said something like, oh, I don't care. I already got into my school. Well, I didn't get into my school. I need my grades to be really good. Did he do it through a text message? Did he do it to you in person? Did he do it over the phone? So now we know it's a fight with friends. And again, this might not come up at first. A lot of us, I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday. This is stuck in your psyche. This is stuck in your brain somewhere. Something, out of all the fights you had with this, what was the first fight that made this a really crappy situation? So let's say, you got a text message, text from friend, at lunch, saying, I'm not, I already got into, I don't need to do anything. I'm not contributing anymore to this project. Why are you being a piece of crap, man? Nah, I'm not doing nothing. That penetrated into your soul, and the brain's like, okay, we gotta, let's say this person is a straight A student, they're valedictorian, and this friend screwed them, put them in a pile of crap. This is crap. This is unacceptable crap that this crap I want to get rid of, but I can't. They're my friend, and I'm stuck in a project with them. And the exact shocking moment that this became a conflict was in this text message. So if somebody's going 10, 20 times a day, maybe every time they receive a text message, they go to the bathroom. Maybe this conversation happened through Instagram. So maybe it's every time they receive an Instagram message, they have to go to the bathroom. Maybe it's when anytime they hear a notification, they got to go to the bathroom. It happened at lunch. So maybe every time at lunchtime, they have to go to the bathroom because the subconscious brain is anticipating crap they need to get rid of, but they can't. When you can't deal with, on a subconscious level, I'm not trying to like, be like, hey, like you're incapable, but it's a subconscious reaction to what, this is all very subjective, to a traumatic event. Some people, this guy obviously doesn't care about getting an F on this project, where this person, it's the end of the world. You don't have to come to peace with this many of the times. People who are constipated tend to need to, but people with diarrhea, it's usually subconscious PTSD triggers from this traumatic event. And many people, just making this realization will stop the symptoms. At lunch that day, I was having a pizza. Man, my symptoms are the worst when I have pizza. And you could have just been eating a pizza. I've seen that many times before, where, oh, I can eat gluten and I'm fine. I can have cheese, I can have dairy and I'm fine. I had pizza, horrible diarrhea. Oh, wow. Well, I got into a fight with a friend who, I bought the pizza, and so I was going to take the leftovers home. And he was like, no, I want to take the and you didn't pay anything. Why would you get to take the leftovers home? Just making that realization stopped that person's reaction to pizza. Another person, they always blamed pizza for their symptoms. They're like, the last meal I had before my colitis started or IBS started was a pizza. So for the longest time, they're like, pizza's the devil, it's all pizza's fault, da-da-da-da-da. But when we finally did this exercise, we pinpointed, like, oh, they got into a huge fight with their friends that day. And then later that night they had pizza, and that's when the symptoms started. Sometimes it depends on, someone's history, but sometimes the symptoms can start during the conflict, and sometimes they start when the conflict gets resolved. There's a lot of details. I have like a free mini version of my 13-day protocol. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be like on the end screen, but it'll also be down in the description, where I go over this in a lot more details. I show you a lot more science and lab studies on how this is all really just subconscious stress putting our gut in and out of overdrive. And the best way to fix this, having diarrhea 10 times is, you're encountering 10 PTSD triggers. Not 10, but there's probably like 2 or 3, and you're just tripping over each one 2 or 3 times a day. It adds up to going to the bathroom 15 times a day. And most of the time, all you need to do is bring these to consciousness. And a lot of people will say, like, oh, I see it, but if you're probably not being specific enough, because the vast majority of people that I talk to, it's, oh yeah, I was fighting with my friends in high school. That's why I had diarrhea all the time. But yeah, see, I made the realization I'm not better yet. What was the shocking moment? And elements of that shocking moment. It was a text message. It was at lunch. I was eating this at lunch. Really drawing out that picture and knowing what was present at the moment of the shocking moment. And those PTSD triggers are probably like littered around your house. That's why a lot of people, when they go on vacation to Europe, they don't have any symptoms, because they're not in the environment. They're very far separated from the environment where the conflict happened. So this is what you need to do to heal IBS-D. It's to become aware of these subconscious PTSD triggers. The best tool to do that is this right here. Teach you the basics of GNM. like literally within a couple of hours, like a day or two, people can eat all their favorite foods again, go out to eat with their friends and family again. Like the other day, I was having like cake and cheesecake. I eat whatever I want. I really don't monitor my diet much anymore. And every once in a while, if I'm like shoving cake or a cookie in my mouth, I just gotta go, man, 4 years ago, I could not have done this. I would have been, with the few friends that I had left, scolding them, oh, you can't eat that gluten. Meanwhile, I look like I'm like a skeleton, like shoving a cookie, like doing this, and everyone's going like, Mike, you eat healthier than all of us, and you are the sickest out of all of us. Like, why should I take any health advice from you? If you have one crumb of this cookie, you're going to have horrible symptoms for the rest of the week. Yet I eat these cookies every day and I don't have any symptoms. I'm not saying I know the answer, but for 10 years you have been doing all this crazy holistic stuff and you have nothing to show for it. Look in the mirror. You are a skeleton, Mike. And your life revolves around your health. I don't focus on my health at all, and I am much healthier than you. I don't know why it's like that, but whatever you're doing is not working. You need to switch yourself up, and it took me a long time to hear that. And yeah, when I go out to eat, I don't think about walking my holistic type. Oh, I'm gonna pay for this in the morning. Oh, I can just maybe I can just have this one cookie this one time. If I can have one cookie a week, I'll be okay. I eat whatever I want. I don't monitor my diet at all. I live life like a normal person. And there's plenty of people who live up into their hundreds who drink, 3 Dr. Peppers a day or, eat McDonald's once a day. Yeah, it's probably healthier to eat. It's healthier to eat more nutrient-dense foods and cleaner foods, but there's something else going on behind the scenes that's really the biggest driver in our health. Like you can have the best car in the world. It's a Ferrari. You have the best team taking care of it and all that stuff. And if the driver doesn't know how to drive, it's useless. It's just a piece of metal, an expensive piece of metal that can't do anything. What's driving the majority of your health are these conflicts these conflict shocks that put different organs in and out of overdrive, and it has the ability to do so much damage to the body that all the best healing treatments and remedies cannot keep up with. So that's where our focus needs to be. I show you how to fix that in more detail in my 13-day protocol, which you can see down in the description.